Get over here, you fucking lib. Ah! Ha! Ah! Ah! Grr! 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 That's what you get! That's what you get! That's what you get! You voted? You voted for the libtard? Gah! Grr! Grr! Bam! 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 Wait. What was that? What was that? You! Invader! Boom, 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 boom! Oh my goodness. Oh, you scared me. You startled me. You fucker. Oh, gosh. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of beating down a liberal in VR. God, that was fun. Jeez Louise, that was a whole boatload of fun. But, God, I guess I'll stop beating the shit out of liberals in VR chat, or not VR chat, Blades and Sorcery. I guess I'll stop under one condition. We talk about how they are completely incompatible with Western culture. Yes, you heard that right. A lot of people have been talking about how Islam is incompatible, which may be true. That also may be true. But I think when we're talking about these things, like Islam, for example, I think that Islam, the Islamification of countries all around the world, I think this is merely a symptom of the disease. Why are the Islamists coming here, and why do they feel so comfortable with coming here and shitting on us? This is very simple stuff, really. It's not a hard concept to grasp. You left your foreign land to come here. And oftentimes you went through countries that have the same cultural, religious beliefs as you, and you went through those. And you chose to come here, who have fundamentally different ideas on how to run a country. And then you come here, and then you tell us to change it into the country that you fled from. That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. But those are just the people, right? People from Somalia, I'm sorry, are stupid. These are people who have dirt floors, okay? At least what I would guess. I would guess that somewhere in Somalia they have dirt floors in a city. Maybe even dirt roads. They are a completely destabilized country with no official leadership structure. Some could even say they're not a country. It's just a patch of land in the middle of shithole Africa. When did defending Africa become a trend? First of all, I mean, just the whole conversation aside, when did defending Africa become a trend? Can't we all agree that continent is a shithole? Like the whole thing, like all of Africa. And the people there are fucking stupid. Like fundamentally, every African is retarded. I cannot even think I can't even think of a debate for this. Like it just seems common sense. Like your water still has parasites in it after thousands of years. And sure, you can say that, well, we had our hand in destroying the imperialism over there. We had a hand in destroying their like structures over there, their governmental structures. But then when you bring that up, you are completely discounting the fucking warlords that run Africa. Fucking warlords that eat people. They admit they eat people. And you want to bring them over here. Now, who wants to bring them over here? Is it the people on the right? or the people on the left? Who is it? Answer the question, fellow listener. Now, I think that as people, we all have a shared goal. We all have one shared goal, which is we want our family and our country to thrive. You know, I really think that we all want that. I think we all want socially, we want people, the disenfranchised, to be taken care of to the best extent that we can. You know, I think that most people want that socially. Like when I'm saying that to all you to all my far right listeners, let me just say, think about the people with Down syndrome. That's who I'm talking about. My uncle has Down syndrome, and he works for a company. I won't say it, but I want to because it is an amazing company, and I think they deserve the recognition. But I don't want to dox my uncle here. But he works for a company that's subsidized by the government. You know, at least as far as I know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but they're not. They are a company and they are producing things, but a lot of the times, you know, they're not meeting that quota. You know, and so a lot of things need government subsidies. My uncle also gets Social Security because my grandpa passed away from cancer. So he gets Social Security from the government because of my grandfather, and on top of that, there's a lot of government funding that goes into just giving my uncle a job so he can live a normal life. So he can, to the best extent possible, he can be a functioning member of society. And so to all my leftists, not leftist, if you're a leftist, click off. Actually, fuck you. But if you're left-minded, I should say, if you tend to have a few viewpoints on the left, you know, and that's kind of where that's where I reside. Socially, I think that we should be giving people who actually deserve it, I think we should give them a chance. And I think that there are social causes that we can come together, and I think it's for the greater good. Truly. And I know there's some people who say, well, they're just using our tax money for illegals, and they're using our tax money to fund emergency services for illegals, to fund food stamps, to fund private school for illegals. All that's true too. All that's true too. But I think at a foundational perspective, we can all agree that at least 45% of the time, I won't say half, but I'll say 45, because I still think there is too much bloated bureaucracy in the government. So I don't want to say that they almost do everything right. I don't want to say that. I think they kind of do some things correctly. And so I think that for those people who don't want to pay taxes, and this is just an idea, I think you should have a choice. I think we're at that point in society where it's like, okay, so you don't feel like the government does anything for you. You shouldn't pay taxes. You shouldn't be forced to. Unless you're this multi-millionaire, or if you're making like $750,000, if you're making anything, and actually I think Trump's based with this one, $150K, if you're making anything under that, I think that's reasonable. I think that's pretty reasonable. No income tax. But I think for those people, it should be voluntary. Because I make well under 150,000, and I prefer to pay taxes. I prefer it. I think it's the right thing to do. I know that our government isn't doing all the right things, but I think societally we shouldn't abandon taxes, because at the end of the day, it helps the less fortunate one way or another. That being said, there are a lot of people that are getting that tax money that are not America first, that are not putting Americans first. Instead, they put other countries first. like Somalia, like Israel, like, I don't know, fucking Ukraine, what's some other, I'm sure you can think of a pretty good one right now that I left out maybe. And I think it should be negotiable. I think you should have a choice to pay your taxes under a certain bracket, of course. If you're some fucking globalist, I'm sorry, you gotta pay your taxes. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. You gotta pay taxes. And maybe you should be paying a little bit more than you're paying right now. And maybe there shouldn't be, I don't know, 1,000 different loopholes that you fuckers can use to dodge taxes, like giving to charity or buying art. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. But the fact is, this wouldn't even have to be a conversation if it didn't get this bad. I think that it has dramatically gotten worse. And I think that if we don't do something, the American people, normal people, I don't think that we stand a chance. I'll just say it. If you don't stand up, if you don't call out this bullshit personally, if you don't make it a point of interest in your life, can you call yourself American? If you cannot earnestly say, I am American first, I am pro-America, maybe you should go. Maybe you should have never been allowed to be here. Period. And the point of interest, how I think we should solve the problem. I think that if you voted for Kamala, and this is me being real, this is me being reasonable. I think that if you voted for Kamala, you were either willingly ignorant, which means you're smart enough to differentiate from right and wrong decisions, and you still chose the wrong one. You chose it because orange man bad and nothing more. Because you thought that you would get support from people who love and appreciate you or your colleagues. I think if you voted because of that, you need to go. You need to go. And I think we start with denaturalization. I do. I think that a lot of the times when we're talking about illegal immigration, these people go up to bat for them at every possible corner, at every possible area of interest. These same people are going to their defense. And what is that called? What is it called when you are an elected official and you are giving money to other countries? You're an elected official in the United States and you're giving Somalia money. And you're advocating for that. While you have homeless people on the street. While you have kids not getting food at school. And then you want to fucking bitch and complain when the Department of Education is destroyed, but you want to give money to another country. That's hypocritical. It is a complete hypocrisy of what democracy is supposed to be. You were hired. You are a fucking employee. You are a public servant. Okay? It's what you're supposed to be, in case you forgot. You are elected to be a public servant. Now, how are you possibly representing? You are supposed to be the representative of those people. How are you representing your community if you're speaking in another language from another country? And then you want to talk about, oh, well, these people from Somalia, and this is why she was speaking Somalian while talking about this, okay? And she was saying, well, there's these people in Somalia, they're bad. We don't want them over here. They're criminals, they're dangerous, they're gross. And she's talking about other Somalians. They have brought a blood feud over to the United States from Africa. What the fuck? And no one bats an eye at this. Tim Walz is just vibing, okay? All these other people are vibing. Hell, I would go as far as to say Trump is just vibing. Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry. This bitch should be in prison. Fuck deporting. You should be in a cage forever or capital punishment. In any other country in the world. Hell, if you take it back 200 years, George Washington would have your head in a noose. Okay? You go back to France, the French Revolution, they'll cut your fucking head off. And that was the French representing other French people. They cut those fuckers' heads off. This line of thinking is not great. And if you look throughout history, it has never ended great for people who think like this. And you can mark my fucking words. Remember this moment 12 years from now. When people my age are running for government. When people like me are running for office. Remember this shit. When all you fucking boomers are 90 years old and about to die. Remember this face, remember this logo. Fuck the population, fuck your people, fuck your country, fuck everyone, fuck your family, fuck everyone. I don't give a fuck you. I'm America first, and fuck you if you disagree. Go back to where the fuck you came from. Fuck you. I am sick and fucking tired of these fucking retards making decisions that some bros in Wisconsin know are wrong. Some bros in fucking Ohio know are wrong. Some bros in Arkansas know are wrong. People in your flyover states, everyone knows it's fucking wrong. And you want to redistrict shit so you can have a majority. When in reality, you're a fucking minority of a minority. God, dude. I was talking with my boy today, and we were just talking about it, and it's like, he gave me a really good line of thinking. He's like, government officials should make the federal minimum wage. Okay? Should be a natural citizen born in this country. Okay? They should be forced. No one in your fucking bloodline can buy stocks. You have fucked up your bloodline for buying stocks. If you ran for the government, that's got to be a sacrifice you're willing to take. That has to be. And no second, no third cousin, no one can buy stocks. You should not be allowed to manipulate the American people for your own benefit. There's very few times that personal gain and coincidence collide. Guess what? Most of the time, it ain't a fucking coincidence. Guess what? Now, what should we do with these people? For real. I think this is a real question. Everyone's talking about denaturalizing illegals, which I agree with. But as I said before, immigrants are only a symptom of the disease. Okay? Liberals are the ones who vote to bring them over here. Liberals are the ones that go into these third world countries. They have rallies. They talk to these people and tell them, if you come over here, you will have a better life. We can get you a job. We can get you representation in your country from here. We can help you. We can help your family. And then go and tell these people these things. They tell them you'll be safe, breaking federal law. You'll have a home, stealing another person's social security card. Maybe, more than likely, it's a newborn baby. You got to steal their social security card so you can have a social security number. It's not that hard, folks. Think about who's doing this. Why do they want them over here? Is it because they care? No. Is it because they want to help these countries? No. It's because they want votes. They want votes, and guess what? If you make $5 an hour here, that's about 10 times more than you would make in Mexico. So that $5 an hour deal might seem really dumb to you, might seem really dumb to me, but to that Hispanic dude, that's a shit ton of pesos. More than he would make in a month. Probably in a week. Even at $5 an hour. Think about that. And if these illegals get privy to it, get privy to the fact that you're manipulating them, get privy to the fact that you're essentially turning them into slaves, you call ICE and have them deported before they can tell anyone else. Why do people not see it? I don't know. It seems super blatant obvious what you're doing. You're doing it for votes and you're gerrymandering for votes. That's your entire shtick. Now, what do we do with these people? These people who are helping hostile foreign nations in sending terrorists over the border. Completely deeming them innocent in a court of law. When these people show up for the rapes, when these people show up for selling drugs or murder, you let them go. For real, yeah. For rape, for sexual assault. I just read an article today about some girl who was raped to death on the stairs of a church in Tennessee. Just read that story today by a Somalian. There's a very not nice word that I wanted to say there. But instead what we'll say is faggot. We had some Somalian faggot scumbag come over the border and rape a woman to death. And he was released previously for sexual battery and sexual assault. In fact, I believe he was released over 10 times. I actually think it was 13, but I know 10 is definitely right. So we'll say over 10 times. And the judge would let him walk. Judge let him out on bail. $5,000 bail. Now, I'm not an expert, but who posted that because he didn't have $5,000, guys. I promise you that Somalian immigrant did not have $5,000. And if he did, you gave it to him. You gave it to him. Through your tax money. Because he sure as fuck didn't look like he looked retarded. Go look at the fucking guy. He looks like a fucking retard who needs a bullet in the head. Okay? There are dangerous retards out there who need to be experimented on and put through forced labor. Yep. That's a cool kind of slavery. I like that. I like that kind of slavery. That's the kind of shit that I like. I don't think that just because you come from another country, you should be a slave. That's what liberals believe. But I do believe that if you're doing crime, you should be experimented on. And probably like how we test vaccines on animals and things. I keep getting sidetracked. What do we do about the liberals that voted for this? I think you need to be sent to North Korea. Ha ha! Isn't that funny? I think you should be sent to whatever shithole country you claim to represent. Who do you care about most? What country is doing it better than us? And we send them there. And it can't be some fucking nice, high-trust society. Because a nice, high-trust society will never take an AOC. A nice, high-trust society will never take whatever the fuck that bitch's name is in Congress in Minnesota. These other countries, they won't take them. Because these people are too retarded and they don't offer anything to society. All they offer is destabilization methods. But once again, or prison. Or prison for the rest of your life. You have acted in the best interest of a hostile foreign nation. You need to go to prison for the rest of your life, if not capital punishment. But the interesting side of where I stand, what you might be asking yourself, well, Zan, these are like super common takes, especially now in 2025. Why would you even make this video? This is something 1,000 people have made videos on. And you're right. To a certain extent, you're right. Because a lot of people have talked about the politicians. But you know what people haven't talked about? For real. I mean, sure, a lot of people on the right, they joke about it. Yeah, I mean, it is a little funny to think about. But I think that if you voted for Kamala, I think if you voted for that bitch in Minnesota, I think if you voted for Tim Walz, I think if you voted for any one of these liberals who openly support the destruction of our traditions, the destruction of our culture, and the humiliation of our ancestors, I think that if you voted for that, something should happen to you too. I don't see, a lot of people will say, oh, but they were just voting for what they think is right. You did not. I repeat, you did not vote for Kamala Harris because you thought it was the right thing to do. You're a liar and you will not manipulate me. No one is that stupid. Not a fucking soul is that stupid. I'm being so serious. I really don't believe it. Unless you take an IQ test and you score under like 65. First of all, if that's you, your right to vote is instantly taken. You are not allowed to vote anymore. You are too hostile to this country. You're too volatile to yourself. You're too self-hating. And you're too people-worshipping. You worship other people like gods. You treat others like they're some divine being, like they can never be wrong. And it always just so happens to be a non-white retard. I said it. And I'll continue to say it. Sure, in the Tim Walz case, fine, you got me. He is a white, seriously retarded man. But a lot of these people are voting to represent minorities in this country. Which is fine. It's okay. But it really seems like all you're doing is representing minorities. That's all you're doing. And you are dismissing the lives of hundreds of millions of people. You are taking a vow to help us, and then on the flip side, when you actually get in power, you enfranchise an entire group of people while disenfranchising natural-born Americans. And you are willing to do that on the basis that, oh, these other people that I'm helping are going to come over here and vote for me. We're talking about citizens. Or vote for my team. Now, I think if that's you, if you have enough of a thought process that you have calculated all this and you know what's going on, and the only rebuttal you have is Orange Man bad, I think you have two options. I think you need to either, see, this is where things get shaky, right? I definitely think your right to vote needs to be taken away, for sure. But I also think that maybe you should be forced to do community service. And I mean forced. You should be forced to understand and appreciate this country. And maybe that has to be a learning lesson for you. Or you can get deported to whatever shithole you want. And yeah, that goes for white Karens. This is my exclusive offer to white, middle-aged bitches with blue hair and a septum piercing. You no longer have the right to vote. No. Gone. Done. Over. That's if we have proof that you voted Democrat in 2024. You're done. You're too much of a risk to society. We cannot coexist. It's like I was talking about with the whole Social Security thing earlier. We have the same ideas on how, on what outcome we want for this country, but our ideas on how we get there are just so different that we will never be able to coexist. We will always be butting at each other's heads. And I'm sorry, but there has to be a right side and a wrong side. There has to be. And I think the right side is the side that will, no matter what, call out a pedophile. And yeah, we have a lot of infighting right now because we have a lot of rhinos who are mixed up in whatever they're doing with Epstein. Although Epstein was CIA, probably Mossad. But that's besides the point. The point is we have a lot of infighting right now. So I understand that a lot of you guys actually are defending pedophiles. But for the most part, for the reasonable right, that's what I'll call them, the reasonable right, I'll say that we can all agree on a lot of issues. And I saw this one pattern. The right has so much diversity of thought, whereas the left is super compact. But for the most part, you have us on the same page. We go against pedophiles. We go against obvious wrongs in society. These common sense issues. We put America first. Although, once again, a lot of them don't. That's where the infighting comes in as well. But there's one side that's pronounced. There's one side, well, sure, we know that there's some Republicans defending pedophiles. They don't just say it. Liberals just say it. They just come out and say, no, he's a pedophile, but he deserves another chance because he was raised in a different society. Liberals will just say it. They'll say the quiet part out loud. No, these people are people too. Nobody's illegal. You want to know why nobody's illegal? Because that means they can all vote. All 50 million illegals get to vote now. And are you going to vote for the people who want to kick your ass out? Or are you going to vote for the people giving you free education, free health care? Like, seriously, let's just be reasonable. Who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for libs every fucking time. Why? It's because liberals have a culture of caring about others before themselves. They have a culture of suicidal empathy and performative empathy. It's a culture. It is a tradition. And I'll be honest. I want to find these liberals, and I think they should be removed from society. You cannot be around people and believe this shit, and I'll be the first one to say it. You heard it here first. I don't think there's anybody else who has said something like this. I'll be the first. I will, if I ever get into a position of power where I'm running my own company, I will discriminate against you. I will do a background check on your politics. I will never hire a liberal. Ever. You will never find success with me. That's a promise. I will discriminate against you. Let it be known here first. You had better hope and pray that you are not seeking my approval. Because so help me, we found better candidates. I'm sorry. I will discriminate against you. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed to go out in public with these opinions. You should be ashamed to represent these opinions. You should be ashamed of yourself. How dare you fight for other countries before your own? You're a fucking disgrace. You are. You fucking disgust me to my core. I hate you people. I hate everything about you. I hate the way you view the world. I hate the way you dress. I hate the way you carry yourself. I hate the words you use. I hate the way you talk. I hate everything about you. Understand that now. You, liberal listener, have radicalized a generation to fucking hate you. And you have no one to blame but yourselves. Because of you. And, obviously the Republicans of the past, like George Bush and, a fair amount of others. I would say pretty much all the presidents up until now. And I would even say to a certain extent Trump. But for normal people like me, we may never own homes. We may never reach the point that an illegal immigrant gets to hit. Because we are privileged already. And so because we have privilege, that means we don't get to own a home. That means you don't get to start a family. And you're bad for wanting it too. You're racist for wanting it. You're racist for standing up for your people, for your country. You're a Zionist for standing up for your people and your country. You're a bigot. You're a Nazi. You're an anti-Semite. You're an Islamophobe. Maybe I am. You ever think about that one? But I'm not, because anti-Semitism and Islamophobia do not exist. You cannot hate. You cannot be phobic of a fucking of an idea. You can't have a phobia of an idea. It's not possible. You can disagree with an idea, but you're not scared of an idea. But I want to know what you guys think. Down below in the comments, comment down below what should actually happen to these people. Do you think it's fair what they're doing? What do you think about what I'm saying? What should we do to the elected officials? What should we do to the voters? And what's your take when I say immigrants are merely a symptom of the disease that is liberalism? How does that make you feel? Because in my opinion, that guy in the burrito truck, yeah, sure, he's breaking federal law. But he offers me a service, he smiles while he's making my food, and he hands it to me. And yeah, he's speaking Spanish when he's handing me the food. But sometimes I think we should keep that guy and deport a liberal in his place. We should denaturalize liberals who want to defend that stuff. And instead of that guy getting deported to Mexico, instead you volunteer as tribute to go to Mexico. I mean, you hate the country so much, right? We're racist and we're evil, right? So maybe we should deport you. You know, I've never had a more favorite quote than this one. Leave it to a liberal to be the most racist one in the room. Just leave it to them. They'll do it on their own. You know, and you have to understand, the reason why I'm saying this is because they will represent, for example, let's say Mexicans. They'll represent Mexico. They will not recognize any of the problems over there. They will not recognize any of the bad people over there. They'll say they're all good and honest and hardworking. And they will call you racist for saying that they're cartel. They'll represent them. And then as soon as the Mexicans get the representation that they want, liberals flip it around. Stick them in fucking rice fields, bitch. Now you're a slave. And if you complain about it, you're deported. But could you imagine? Liberals want to pay these people minimum wage, even below that. They don't want to give them insurance. They don't want to give them health care. Like legally, right? Like this is what you offer an American. You offer Americans all these things. Obviously, they do want to give illegals health care. They do want to give them all this and that. But at the end of the day, you know you're doing it illegally. Right? And you know that there's an American that doesn't have health care or a job. There's an American there's a veteran sleeping on the road. There's a kid sleeping on the road that doesn't have health care or warm meals, doesn't have a roof over their head, while you're housing illegals in migrant shelters that are 4-star hotels. And that's your team. And then these migrants go on to commit these horrific crimes, like rape and murder, sometimes both at the same time, with this most recent case. And you refuse to admit you're wrong. In fact, you double down. You fucking disgusting. Something needs to be done about these people. Immediately. First and foremost, you can't be allowed to vote. That's done. That's over. Obviously, you are too stupid. I mean it. And this is from the heart. You don't even know the pain that you are inflicting upon yourself. You have no idea the struggles that you will be putting yourself through, and simultaneously hundreds of millions of Americans. And you don't know. That means you're a fucking security risk. Literally. You are a security risk. You don't even know the danger that you're bringing in, and yet you still double down. It's ridiculous to me, man. No wonder the alternate universe is great. No wonder so many people retreat to the alternate universe. It's no surprise to me. Literally. Hold on, oh, there it is. But I don't know what other solutions we have. And I'm being honest. I don't know what else we can do about these people. It has reached such a critical state that Nick Fuentes is now the most popular political commentator in the world. Let that sink in. You may have heard a few clips that you don't like by Nick. Hell, you may not even agree with a lot of the things that he says. But there is one thing that you are forced to realize by his presence, and that's that us young people, see, you say you're willing to destroy the system. We're actually willing to do it. We're actually willing to tear apart your shit system and rebuild it from the bottom up. And say, fuck the Constitution. Fuck everything. Fuck your Bill of Rights. Fuck all that shit. Light it on fucking fire. Light it on fire. Toss it out. Some boomers 200 years ago who were boomers for their own fucking time. Okay? And that's who you're getting your written word from. But the only reason that people ever bring up the Constitution is in spite of other people. The only time a liberal brings up the Constitution is when it benefits their point of view. The only time a Republican brings up the Constitution is when it benefits their point of view. No one ever talks about it neutrally. The only person who did, probably, was Charlie Kirk, and now he's fucking dead. They killed him. Huh. That's a crazy observation to make, man. That's an insane, crazy observation, but it's true. I believe it to be true. Cheers, by the way. Uh-oh. What the fuck? Uh-oh. Oof. It seems that the dab pen is clogged. Whatever. Who cares? It's a dual flavor. So I was trying to hit the sativa side, but nah. Oh, shit. Landed right by your guys' feet. I don't know what to do about these people. But their presence in society pisses me off. I want them gone. I want them out of this country. I'm talking about all liberals. I want you out of this fucking country. Unless you can score under like 50 IQ. If you're actually stupid, you can stay. And I'm being serious. You can't vote anymore, but you can stay. And if you score above 65, you have to be either in forced compelled labor or deported. Sorry. Or you could be turned into a human battery, because AI, and this is the thing, AI is probably going to be able to do all the community service stuff, like robots and all that shit, right? Like pick up all the trash and all that shit. I think it's going to be able to do that pretty easily, and like all the community service shit, I think it'll be able to do really easily. So you might just have to be turned into human batteries. And I think that's a good way to do it. Yep, I do. I really, really do. But if you guys have any other suggestions, leave them down below. I can't see how coexistence is the key. I don't see it anymore. I used to. I swear to God, this isn't just some right-wing talking point. I have actually tried to hear out these people. I have. And all that's been shown to me is that they are exactly what I think they are. They are every stereotype that I came across in my time. The whiny, bitchy Karen who cries about identity politic nonsense. They need to go. No more. Why should you have to feel in danger so they can feel good? Why should you have to live like that? Why should you have to live in a society where your kids might get raped? That we need to assimilate these people over here and make them feel good. Oh, but the wars. Fuck your country. Fuck your people. Fuck your family. And fuck the population. Yeah. And you have radicalized an entire generation into wanting to pursue the absolute worst outcome for all of you. And I'm talking about liberals, obviously. You have rage baited a generation into wanting to seek your destruction. You called us stupid. You called us retarded. You said our ideas wouldn't work. You said that our ideas are racist. You went as far as to call us Nazis. It should scare you that we don't care anymore. It should really freak you out that we don't care anymore. Your weapon has been disabled. The one thing you had was control over our thoughts. Oh, but you might be called a racist. You better not say that. Oh, you better not say that. You might be a Nazi. I'll say it in public. And the thing is, I'll get people smiling at me. I'll get people who give me a head nod. You should see what these kids say on VR. This is insane. You think Nick Fuentes is popular now? Huh? Those kids are only like 14. They love the guy. They're literally using his talking points. It's insane. You won't believe it till you see it. I'm going to hop on VR after this and I'm going to go talk to some... Okay, this is going to sound bad, okay? I'm not actually a liberal, guys. I'm not a pedophile, but I'm actually going to go talk to some of these kids and some of these young people, and we're going to see how they really think. And guess what? They like talking about it, and they're not scared of having something happen or having someone cancel them. It's not a fear anymore. No, nobody cares. You fucked up. Because 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have told you that being called a racist is like one of the worst things that you can be called. I'm so serious about that. keep in mind, I'm only 23. So, like, I was 13 10 years ago, you know? Uh, and so, and I thought that was, like, the worst thing you could be. I thought being called a Nazi was, like, the worst thing that you can be called. And I still think that that's, being called a Nazi is still really bad because of the connotations, right? Like shooting pregnant women in the back of the head in the middle of a field, you know, or other things. Well, we don't actually know if that happened, but the connotation and the insinuation behind calling someone a Nazi is that they kill indiscriminately. That's what that means, whether or not that's what really happened. But anyways, that's the insinuation that comes from being called a Nazi. So arguably being called a Nazi is still really bad for now. Until the racism thing happens to the Nazi word. And people don't care. I mean, personally, I do not care, right? Like, I don't care if you call me a Nazi. Personally, I think that you should probably get, like, ticketed if you call someone a Nazi, like, just because that's the worst thing, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I'm still going to say it. That's the worst thing that you can be, is a Nazi. I'm sorry. Like, the insinuation there is that you kill indiscriminately. It's still really bad. Like, whether or not that's really true and that's really history, that's still how they equate it. That's how they equate to the word. And so being called a Nazi, it's not just rhetoric, it's not just words, it's not just them being overdramatic. It's their green light to come kill you. Yep. It is. What happened to the Nazis? What did our ancestors do to them? Killed them. Killed all of them. Okay? Man, dude. You guys have gotten yourselves in quite the predicament now. Because you're going to die one day. Not from the hands of another man. That's not what I'm saying. That's not a threat. Although you will die. But naturally, probably. And one day we will be in charge. I can run for president in 12 years. Could you fucking imagine? You really don't want me to be president. You really do not. Well, I actually think Nick Fuentes would be better. So the thing about Nick becoming president is that he would have a better idea. I think we share a lot of the same ideas, but I think that he would be more rational. So, like, if I became president, though, I would it would probably be a horror movie, I would guess. I mean, to be fair, I could end all the corruption in 24 hours, but we're going to be kicking some heads down some flight of stairs. That is a threat. We're going to be kicking your heads down a flight of stairs. If I became president, you really don't want me to be president because all these fuckers are done. And I don't... See, they would have to kill me. They would... Honestly, I would probably get shot in the face. Because, yeah, my first order of business would be the capital punishment of the top 10 most obvious corrupt politicians and former. So, yeah, you know, I mean, maybe some of you like that. I love the idea personally, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, this goes out to all my libs. All the libs listening to this. Lay fucking low, and you need to disavow. Before it was just the trans thing. Now this is getting crazy. You guys need to disavow the trans thing, and you need to disavow this illegal immigration nonsense. If you ever want a chance to win again, I'm being dead serious. Because I can't imagine a world where you guys are still in charge. I really can't. I laugh at the idea of a liberal president, and that makes me feel good. That makes me feel great. And that's my big worry with the Nick Fuentes movement, is that we are going to divide the Republican Party to such a degree that it actually gives headway to liberals, just because we're split on our options that now Democrats need. They're actually ahead by like 1 or 2%. That's why I think we should vote J.D. Vance next year, or not next year, but next election. And my viewpoint will change on this, so do not take this as gospel, but this is how I'm interpreting it right now. We need a vote in J.D. 2028 because we need to completely squash the liberal bug. They can never gain foothold in this country ever again. There should not be any liberal governors. There should not be any liberal senators. There shouldn't be any liberal congressperson. Straight up. And at the end of the day, we need to squash them. We need to destroy that party. We need to destroy that nihilistic, atheistic, narcissistic ideology. Needs to go. And then after that, then we can vote independent. Because at least with the right, the reasonable right, we can have a voice and we can have a difference of ideas that are the exact same as theirs but more extreme. Like, what's the difference between us and MAGA? The release of the Epstein files, the speed at which people are being deported, and giving tax breaks to rich people instead of the common folk. Which maybe that'll change if Trump actually does, fuck with the IRS and mixes some things up. That's yet to be known. We still got a couple years left before JD starts campaigning. Before other people start campaigning, this is what we're going to have to go through. I think I'm pretty confident about that, at least. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap up our show today. I didn't really want to make this video, but at the same time, I feel like it's the right message, and I think that it'll reach the right people. This message. Just if you want my advice, guys, just stay positive. Stay with Christ. Stay Christ-centered no matter what. Do not allow these liberals to fuck with your empathy. I mean that. Because there's such an opportunity to become heartless ghouls. Because we see this over-compassionate retardation of our country, and we just want to go the complete opposite way. And on one hand, fuck the population and fuck every other country. On the other hand, if we can fix all of the institutional problems like homeless veterans, if we can fix the illegal immigration issue, then we can start moving outwards. But that doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon. And I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to say that. It's just is what it is. Now, we're going to take another little Benjamin rip, and then I'm going to let you guys carry on with your day. I'm glad that you guys got to stop by. Thank you for giving me a listen. Make sure you leave a comment down below. I saw, I think it was like Rocco777 or something like that. He left the first comment on one of my videos. That warmed my heart, bro. I think he said something like, got good vibes here, or some shit like that. I love you, man. That's also my very first subscriber on Rumble. My first follower. Dude, thank you for following. Thank you for commenting. That is what this show needs. You are more than appreciated. And if you're seeing this right now, leave another comment down below what you think you would want to listen to. I love talking about psychology. I like talking about politics. I like talking about anything. I like talking self-help shit. Anything you guys want to hear, comment it down below. I will make a video about it. Even if it's a 5-minute goofy little video, I will love to hear your guys' ideas and bounce back and forth with you guys. That would be fucking awesome. Literally awesome. Let's take this little... Let's take this little Benjamin rip. And I'm going to let you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Here. We're going to put it at the highest voltage. Cheers, guys. Cheers. I just got done with being sick. So no blinkers. Little coughs are okay, but we don't want to die. God. Thank you guys for watching this video. Unironically, I hope that it helped maybe think about some things. Maybe I just encouraged some thought. Maybe I said everything you've already been saying and I've just validated you on all your opinions. Or you think I'm the world's biggest retard. I don't give a fuck. Right now, we're homies. Because, why not? I love you guys. And